Ready to go. Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, May 18th, 2020. It is 10 a.m. This is our 3 times a week meeting and update for the town of Bellingham with regards to the coronavirus, providing you with the most updated and accurate information. As always, we will defer to Deputy Chief Poirier for some numbers.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. For the Massachusetts, we have 86,010 cases. We have 5,797 deaths. In the U.S., we have 1,527,951 cases. We have 90,980 deaths and 346,389 recovered.
Mark. Public Health North, Esther.
Good morning. As of this morning, we've had 656 residents tested with a total of 123 cases. My math was wrong earlier, I forgot to add. With a total of 29 currently active, 84 recovered, and 10 deaths.
Sure.
Esther, while you're on that track, we had a question for you with regard to the numbers. A nice message. We get a lot of compliments, so I'll go ahead and read it. First, thank you for these updates. Bellingham is doing a great job informing us. With respect to positive case tests and the number active, does that mean the other positives are mild cases? And I think the answer is they've recovered, right?
That is correct, yes. So the difference is the recovered cases are taken away, which leaves us with our currently active cases. So it's a combination of mild and severe cases. It's not broken down like that.
Either you're positive and you're an active case, or you're a recovered case, but you're positive.
Correct.
Mild or severe. Great, thank you. We had another question. If you want to,
yeah, we'll talk to the questions.
We can give it to Esther right now as well. We'll do the questions right now, Esther, to keep you on your toes.
Sure.
Actually, it's more of a compliment. Again, I'd like to thank you for the daily updates on the Bellingham website and the morning briefings. I check it every day and appreciate seeing how many COVID-19 cases, the recovered and active ones. Unfortunately, the deaths as well. The reality of it is in print. A strong reminder that it's not just in the cities, but everywhere. Going into the next phase will be challenging. I hope you continue documenting the COVID-19 information. Keeps us cognizant of staying socially distant and wearing masks everywhere. And it's very true, and that's why we wanted to get that information out.
Absolutely. That was the genesis of doing these updates, was because we didn't want people finding out information allegedly on the social media. We figured we'd get the experts in with the accurate information, so there's no doubt as to what's really going on in town. So that was kind of the genesis of this whole update. So we have our local librarian, Bernadette Rivard, in for an update of what's going on, or what can be anticipated to be going on at the library, hopefully sooner than later.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Well, starting today, our staff is in transitioning back into the building over the last week. Starting today, we'll be answering telephone calls between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. So if you've been holding off on calling because you didn't want to leave a voicemail or you didn't want to send an email, now's your chance to make a phone call and get a person to talk to you about whatever your library issues are. Obviously, the building remains closed. The library trustees have formed a reopening committee to work on a phased reopening plan. I think a lot of places are doing that to see what the next steps can possibly be. We do anticipate at some point being able to offer curbside pickup of library materials, but we have no timelines on that. Obviously, there's too many unknowns at this point, but we are working on that plan, and we're plotting through the plan, plotting through the facility to make when we do eventually reopen, to have it as safe as we can possibly make it. We will work with the Board of Health, obviously, to make sure what we're doing makes sense for the library, but it's a very challenging time, and we really wish we could be there in person for you, but we can't. Please call us starting today. We'd love to talk to you. And my other exciting news is on Friday, we got our first delivery of the Bellingham Now and Then book, which was published by the library as part of a grant program for the 300th anniversary. It's a 157-page book, color photographs, history of the town's development, stories, personal stories from longtime residents. The people that order theirs online before March, we have your books in hand. We're going to work out a way to get to them to you hopefully over the next week or so. If you order them in March at the library, that second batch is on order. And if you want to get yours now, $19.95. If you go to the website bellfol.org, which is the Friends of the Library website, you can order them online there. Or if you mail a check to the library for $19.95, we'll get you in the next batch order, which we anticipate we'll do by the end of the month for delivery in June or July. It takes 3 or 4 weeks for them to print to get them to us. So get your copy. It's really, I'm very proud of, we did a great job on it, I have to say, and it's really well done. So buy our book. Does anybody have any questions?
great.
You had a committee, I know you spent a lot of time working on that, and Johnson spent a lot of time. It was a year-long effort. You also got a grant.
We did. It was done with an LSTA grant, which is a Library Services and Technology Grant Act. It was a $15,000 grant that did the book as well as some other activities for the 300th anniversary. But we started this in October of 2018, so it was all a year and a half.
Wow.
A lot of research, a lot of starts, and then let's go a different way. So it was a lot of stops and starts to get it to be where it was. It was Pam Johnson, Marjorie Turner Holman, Cecily Christensen, and myself that were the book committee that pulled it together. With a lot of help from Dennis, Jim Kupfer, Bruce Lord. I don't want to forget somebody, so I probably should stop now.
And others.
And lots of others. And they're in the acknowledgments in the front of the book. So everybody's name that really helped us out is
The last history of Bellingham, I think, was written in 1969 for the 250th.
Right.
And prior to that, 1919. Is that right?
There's a 1919 book, there's a 69, and then Ernie Taft's pictorial, The Images of America, was done. And we reference all of those in there. One of our goals with this was not to recreate history that had already been written. We were trying to write new things. So anything that's in that 1919 book or the 1969 book, we took off. We kind of started saying we wanted to from 1969 on, but then when we started doing the research, we realized 1960 forward hadn't really been documented, and that's when the town really changed. The population between 1960 and 1965 went from like 6,000 to 10,000 when Weathersfield and Pilgrim Village and all those neighborhoods were built. So it was a lot of change at that point. So we went back to 1960 and really went through. There's a timeline of, if you want to know when, I don't know, when every major building was built in town was since 1960, it's in here.
And as far as reopening the library, much like the town hall, we're waiting, even if we did want to open, we haven't been given the green light yet to have public places open where people are congregating. We're obviously staffed and working, but cannot open to the public. Everything's by appointment here or phone message. So we're in the same holding pattern. All of our public buildings are.
Great. Thank you.
You said you can order those. Can you order those online?
Yeah, online, bellfol.org.
Bellfol.org.
Bellingham Friends of the Library,
All
right?
right.
Yep.
And then
$19.95, $3 shipping if you want it shipped to you. If you're local, don't pay the shipping. We'll get it to you somehow.
See, I would have recommended selling them for $17.19. That's why I'm not. That's why I'm not in the front of the book.
Or it could have been $29.
Yeah. Say 20.
There we go.
Instead of $19.95. Oh well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Town clerk. Town clerk Larry Sposato.
Thank you. Good morning. I just wanted to announce that we're going to have a candidates forum, much like we usually have at the senior center. Obviously, we can't do it that way this year. It's going to be sort of a Zoom meeting, very similar to what we have here now. And it will be on May 28th at 10 a.m. So it will be in the same time slot. I'm using the jargon because we're in the business now. It's going to be in the same time slot as this meeting. All the candidates are being invited. I have confirmed that in the contested race for selectmen, all 3 candidates are going to participate. We are also hopeful to get people from the pro and con sides of the ballot question for the Proposition 19 override. If you have any questions that you'd like to send in ahead of time, please send them to townclerk@bellinghamma.org. And just because we get a lot of mail, just to kind of keep a little bit separate, because of forum, FORUM, in the title line, that would be great, because that will just help us. And I also wanted to mention that you may be hearing a lot of different information about how we will be voting. And there's various legislation before at the State House regarding how we'll be voting in the next election. That does not have anything to do with our town election. The town election is how I've described it. They're working on September and November. So no decisions have been made, no votes have been cast yet in terms of what they're going to change. We may be doing it exactly the same as we're doing it now, or there may be some major changes. As soon as I know, I will let everyone know. But I can guarantee that the same way we have the early ballots now by mail and absentee by mail, we will still have those. It's just going to be the in-person and the early voting in person that will probably change. So I'll keep everybody up to date as I learn how the votes go. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Thanks.
Do you have anything else, Dennis? or-
Nope.
All right. So in about 45 minutes or maybe an hour, we should be learning a little bit more about what the governor's plan is for the phased reopening of the Commonwealth. Once we get that information, we're going to continue working on our town reopening policy. As you may know, that we do have businesses that are submitting plans for when they do intend to reopen. If some of those businesses are not deemed non-essential, but not deemed essential, we've been working with them to see if something we can get them opened up sooner than later, as well as restaurants, putting together their plans, whether it be outdoor seating or restrictive seating. Again, there's going to be a timeline for some of these restaurants with outdoor seating if we need to expand their liquor license for the expansion of premises. So I strongly encourage any restaurant owners that you may know or any restaurant owners that might be watching to get their plans together, get them to the town, submit their plans to COVID-19business@bellinghamma.org. Our town planner will get those requests and schedule a time to go out there and give an inspection and a review of what those plans are. So the sooner we can get those plans in, the sooner we can get these requests for expansion of premises liquor licenses, the sooner we can get the ball rolling and you guys can hit the ground running as soon as we get the green light from the state. So I encourage you to get those plans together. If you have any questions, again, email COVID-19business@bellinghamma.org. As always, if you have any other COVID-related questions, we have COVID-19@bellinghamma.org for any questions, comments, concerns that our town administrator will read on the 3 times a week basis now. So, Mark, you want to bring us home?
So in closing, as usual, if you have any Massachusetts COVID-19 information requests, you can dial 211. And if you have any place of business questions, you can call your Massachusetts Attorney General at 617-727-3465. And what you can do is they have business hours, so just be careful. You may get an answering machine if you're on off business hours.
As always, maintain your social distancing, wash your hands, and be safe. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you.